The paper grocery bag slips from my fingers before I fully process what I'm seeing. The jar of marinara shatters against the white tile, spreading like blood at a crime scene. I just stand there, keys dangling from my hand, staring into the impossible scene before me. My mother and my sister inside my house. Not our family home. Not some shared vacation cabin. My cottage. The one I worked 2 years of double shifts to afford. The one whose address I never told anyone. "Posey, you're home early," Liana says, stretching the measuring tape between her manicured hands like she's claiming territory. She's in my office, measuring the wall. The office where I write grants and dream of finally being my own person. Mom straightens from where she's been rearranging my furniture. "We thought you'd be at work until 5, she says in her usual airy tone. The same one she's used all my life to brush away my boundaries like lint on a sweater. I take a breath, step carefully over the red splatter on the floor. "How did you get in here?" "Oh, I had a key made," Mom says, waving her hand as though she's announcing the weather. "Yesterday, when I stopped by to congratulate you." The words clang in my chest. I remember that visit. Her asking to use the bathroom, leaving her purse on the counter for just a minute. I hadn't realized she'd slipped my keys from the ring. "You copied my keys." Without asking. My voice shakes, part fury, part disbelief. "Don't be so dramatic, honey," Mom sighs, fluffing a pillow that doesn't need fluffing. "We're just seeing how this place can work for everyone." The words sink in slowly. Everyone. The familiar dread crawls up my spine. "For everyone." Repeat. "What do you mean?" Liana doesn't miss a beat. "You can't possibly live here alone, Posey. This place has 3 bedrooms. The kids need space." "The kids?" My voice cracks. "Liana, this is my home. After everything we've done for you," Mom interjects, her eyes widening in theatrical hurt. "Your sister's children need stability. Family helps family." Family. That word again, always used like a leash around my neck. A lifetime of swallowed protests, of watching Liana get more. The bigger cake, the new car, the family praise, flashes behind my eyes. The pattern is so old it feels carved into my bones. But something inside me shifts. Maybe it's the sight of Mom's measuring tape cutting across my office like a dividing line, or the sticky sound of marinara drying on tile like blood sealing a wound. "This is my house," I say, voice steady for the first time. "Not yours. Not ours. Mine." I pluck the spare key from Liana's hand, where she's been nervously fidgeting. "You have 2 minutes to leave before I call the police." Their eyes widen, not with guilt but with disbelief. No one's ever heard me say no before. When the door finally slams behind them, rattling the windows, I stand in the silence, heart hammering. I slide the deadbolt closed. The click echoes through the cottage like a vow. For the first time in my life, the word mine feels like freedom, and the start of a war I never asked for. The phone rings before I've finished scrubbing the marinara from the grout lines. The stain won't lift. A red reminder of the day everything shifted. Dad's name flashes on the screen. I already know what's coming. "What the hell do you think you're doing, Posey?" he barks the moment I answer. "Your mother is in tears. You're tearing this family apart with your selfishness." I grip the sponge tighter. "Dad, Liana needs help," he interrupts. "That's what family does. You've always understood that before." Always. The word tastes bitter. I hang up mid-sentence, the sound of his outrage still echoing through my quiet house. 4 years I've lived by their rules, smoothing conflicts, saying yes when I meant no, swallowing my anger like medicine. But tonight something different burns inside me. When I glance at the family photo on my mantle, all of us smiling like cardboard cutouts, I see it clearly for the first time. The symmetry of sacrifice. Mom, Dad, and Liana perfectly centered. Me slightly off to the side. The good one. The helper. The invisible glue that kept everyone else comfortable. I turn the frame face down. That small act feels enormous. Like breaking a spell. The next morning I make coffee and let the quiet fill the cottage. No phone calls. No visitors. Just me, the hum of the refrigerator, and a faint feeling of peace. It lasts exactly 3 days. When the Facebook notification pings, I almost ignore it. Liana has tagged me in a post. Something about family blessings. Tap it open. The photo hits me like a punch. Her 3 children are squeezed together on a pull-out sofa, smiling beneath the caption. Kids are finally getting a bigger place soon. Blessed. Family first. My heart stutters. I scroll through the comments. Which bedroom does Ellie get? One of Liana's friends asks. The blue one with the bay window, Liana replies. Jack and Tyler will share across the hall. The blue room. My office. The comments below are full of congratulations. I can almost hear Mom's proud laughter, Dad's approval, the community gossip machine already spinning its story. Generous Posey letting her sister's family move in. Except I never agreed to any of it. My coffee mug slips from my hand and shatters against the counter. Hot liquid splashes across my bare feet, but I barely feel it. My mind replays the timeline, 3 weeks ago. Before I even signed the closing documents. They'd planned this before the house was mine. I run to the bathroom, stomach lurching. This isn't a misunderstanding. It's a plot. When I finally return to the kitchen, my phone buzzes again. A group text accidentally including me. It's from Dad. Don't worry about Posey's tantrum. Mom's message reads. She'll give in once you're settled. She always does. 3 words stand out like cuts on paper. She always does. Not this time. I set the phone down, palms trembling, and whisper the words that feel like a promise to myself. Not anymore. The awakening isn't loud or cinematic. It's quiet, cold, and absolute. The slow realization that the family I've loved my whole life has been feeding on my silence. And now I'm done being their feast. Dad's text comes the next day. Family dinner. 7 p.m. Your mother's making pot roast. We need to talk about a solution. The word solution curls in my stomach like spoiled milk. Still, against my better judgment, I go. Some part of me, the obedient daughter part, still hopes they'll apologize, that this can be fixed. When I walk into their dining room, I know immediately that hope was foolish. The table is set with Mom's good china, but the seating tells the real story. Mom, Dad, and Liana sit on one side united. The opposite chair, mine, sits alone. Posey, Mom says brightly, her voice coated in sugar. We're so glad you could join us. Dad slides a manila folder across the table. We've found the perfect solution. Inside are printouts of 5-bedroom houses, all circled and annotated. Notes scribbled in Dad's handwriting. Perfect for the kids, good backyard for play, close to school. These are lovely, I say slowly, for Liana and Mark. Mom exchanges a look with Dad. For all of you. Together. I stare at them. You're joking. We've already talked to your bank. Mom continues smoothly, stirring her iced tea. Transferring your mortgage is quite simple. It'll be manageable if everyone contributes. You contacted my bank. The words burst out before I can stop them. Just preliminary discussions, she says, as if invading my financial life is a casual errand. Liana leans forward. Your furniture won't all fit, of course. We can sell the extra pieces. Mark strolls in late, as always. The left garage would work better for my truck, he adds, without even greeting me. They're dividing my life like spoils of war. Posey, Dad says, lowering his voice into the tone that used to make me shrink as a child. Refusing to help would show you don't care about this family. Mom clutches her pearls of guilt. Think of your nieces and nephews. Children remember who was there for them. And what would people think, Liana adds, if you had all this space while we're struggling? That old, familiar weapon, shame, slides across the table like a knife. I can almost feel my younger self wanting to fold, to apologize, to make things right. But the Posey sitting here now is different. The Posey who locked her door and turned the family photo face down has finally found her edge. I stand, napkin trembling in my hand. Watch me not help. Their faces freeze. I turn and walk out. Dad's voice follows me to the door, heavy with disbelief. You're making a mistake, Posey. Maybe I am. But for once, it's my mistake to make. In the car, my phone lights up with missed calls, furious texts, guilt-laced voicemails. I switch it to silent. The night air feels sharp, clean. My hands still shake, but not from fear, from adrenaline. From freedom. As I drive home, I realize rebellion isn't about shouting. It's about finally saying no and meaning it. The house might be mine on paper, but tonight, for the first time, it feels like it belongs to me in spirit too. 3 days after the dinner ambush, my phone buzzes non-stop. Notifications, missed calls, messages dripping with guilt. Each one a reminder of how my family is unraveling over a single word they've never heard from me before. No. First, I try to ignore it. Then I see Liana's new Facebook post. Her kids squeezed onto a pull-out sofa, their faces arranged in practiced misery. The caption reads, "When family abandonment means your children don't have bedrooms. Family first, unless you're selfish, apparently." The comments sting like nettles. People I've known since childhood rush to offer sympathy. Poor Liana. Some people forget their roots. Even Mrs. Hatcher, my old teacher, chimes in about how much space I have for just one person. I set my phone down, my hands trembling. This isn't just manipulation anymore, it's a campaign. My family has turned my refusal into a public spectacle. The doorbell rings. Through the peephole, I see Pastor Williams, Bible tucked under his arm. "Your family's concerned," he says gently. "They asked me to visit." "I didn't request spiritual counseling," I reply through the door. My voice doesn't waver. "Please respect my privacy." His sigh carries the weight of disappointment, but I don't care. For once, their disapproval doesn't feel like a cage. It feels like distance, and distance feels like safety. That night, I sit at my kitchen table and make a list. Every boundary they've crossed, every manipulation, every trespass. I document everything, from Mom's key copying to the bank call to the false HOA report that arrived in my mailbox this morning. They'd told the Homeowners Association I was running a business from home, another lie meant to stir trouble. Each entry strengthens my resolve. This isn't disobedience, it's survival. I change my passwords, forward my mail, install cameras at every entrance. My once cozy home now feels like a fortress, but for the first time I feel safe inside it. Then one evening I pull into my driveway and freeze. Liana's SUV is parked out front. Through the window, I see movement inside. Shadows where there shouldn't be any. This time I don't knock. Call the police. When they arrive, Mom, Dad, and Liana pour onto the porch in outrage. She's throwing her own family out. Liana cries. "With what key?" I ask, showing the officer my phone screen, live security footage of them breaking in. Mom's eyes dart toward the neighbors watching. "What will people think, Posey?" For years, that question ruled my every choice. Now it feels meaningless. "I don't care what they think," I say quietly. "I care what I think." When the officer escorts them away, I stand in the doorway, the same doorway where the first jar of marinara fell. The tile beneath my feet still bears a faint red stain. I decide to leave it there, a reminder of where this started and how far I've come. That night, I sleep soundly for the first time in years. The next morning, sunlight floods my kitchen as I sip my coffee. The world is still imperfect, my family still furious, but my peace no longer depends on their approval. For the first time, my reflection in the window looks like someone who belongs to herself.